The Gator boys are gonna try to repeat back-to-back championships. That hasn't been done since, well, actually not that long ago. UConn just did it, but Florida is trying to go back-to-back under fourth-year head coach Todd Golden, and the Gator boys are trying to stay hot in March Madness. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Random SEC. If you aren't subscribed, please consider doing so. You can unsubscribe whenever you want if you don't like my content, but please consider doing so and like and comment as well. It would really help me out a lot, and we're doing great on all social medias. But YouTube, we really need your help. Back to the video.
March Madness is finally here, the greatest 3 weeks in sports, and today we're breaking down one of the most interesting teams in the entire tournament, the one seed, the Florida Gators. Not only are they the top team in the country, they're also the defending national champions after winning the title last year, going through an absolute gauntlet and pulling it out at the end. They're also so the big question heading into March Madness in 2026 is simple. One of the biggest storylines: can Florida go back to back? Can they repeat? And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the Florida Gators roster stats, key players, X factors, statistics, their path through the NCAA tournament, and every possible matchup in their region. So let me tell you, Florida might have the most dangerous tournament path of any one seed, but also a lot of room for opportunity. So buckle up. The Florida Gators finished the season 26-7 overall, 16-2 in the SEC. They were the regular season SEC champions, ranked number 4 in the AP poll heading into the NCAA tournament. They're the number 1 seed, and I believe they're the 4th ranked number 1 seed, so pretty much the number 4 team in the country. But in my opinion, they're the best team in the country. 86.8 points per game, 72 points allowed per game. Florida is good at literally everything. I mean, they score a ton, they defend extremely well, they can rebound, they have 3-point shooters, and they have the best front court in the country. Um, they've played one of the toughest schedules in the country, and they've kind of mowed through it. And if that wasn't scary enough, they're also coming into March Madness with serious momentum. Now, they did lose their last game against the Vanderbilt Commodores in the SEC tournament, but I'm not worried about that at all. If anything, that was a wake-up game to kind of get Florida back on the way they were playing before that. The last 12 games, I think they had a 12-game winning streak or whatever. And they're playing as the best team in the country, in my opinion. Like, no one is even close to them. So, if anything, that was a wake-up call, and you don't really care about the SEC tournament that much, especially when you just won the SEC championship. That was just complacency. If anything, that wakes Florida up. Florida ended the regular season on a 12-game winning streak before the SEC tournament, showing they're playing their best basketball at the right time. Let's look at this team bottom down. Head coach Todd Golden, now in his 4th season at Florida. Golden has built one of the most dominant teams in college basketball, heavy spacing, analytics, driven shot selection, high tempo, lots of 3-point attempts, and that's just the offense, resulting in one of the most explosive offenses in the country. And in March Madness, their style is terrifying. I mean, it literally, if you look at a team's style and the way they play, take the jerseys, take everything out of it, and just look at this team raw, you'd be like, that's what's built for the March Madness run. Anyways, let's get deeper into it. Key players though, Thomas Howard, the star, one of the best players in the country, guys. He's going to be a great NBA player. 17.1 points per game, 6.2 rebounding rounds, 46% shooting. He's a matchup nightmare because not only is he an elite front court player, scores inside, can rebound, can defend with the best of them, but he can also shoot threes, and he can also kind of run the point, to be honest. And he can defend multiple positions. I mean, he's one of my favorite players to watch, and he is one of the most dynamic players in all of college basketball. And last year in March Madness, during the regular season, he was good, but March Madness is where he really came into his own, and he was knocking down threes, and he was an X factor for Florida. I mean, obviously, everybody remembers Walter Clayton Jr., what he did. One of the best players we've ever seen in the tournament. But as far as X factors go, and as far as important players, Florida does not even sniff a national title without Thomas Howell last year. And ever since then, he has been absolutely on fire. All season long, he's been one of the best players in college basketball. And we can only hope that he continues to take steps like he did last year in March Madness and become even better, become even more dynamic. He is an X factor. But this year, I don't feel like he is the X factor for Florida. And I'll get into that later. He's the go get a bucket when everything breaks down guy. That's Thomas Howard. Alex Condon, the interior force. And Florida, if you haven't realized already, is the interior force team. They have the best front court in the country, and it's not even debatable. Thomas Howell, Alex Condon, Ruben Chinaloo, and that's just the starting 3. You got guys on the bench that could do it to the best of their ability as well. But let's get into Alex Condon. He gives Florida a dominant interior presence, 15 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 54% shooting. He controls the paint on both ends of the floor. He dominates inside. Florida becomes almost impossible to guard because defensive has to collapse, which opens up shooters everywhere. Alex Conte can also shoot the three pretty well. And guys, look, he struggled earlier in the season, the regular season, but he was huge in March Madness last year, and he has just been stepping up his game and been one of the most impressive players in the SEC and all of the country recently. He is huge. Boogie Fland. Now, I was talking about X factors earlier. Boogie Fland is one of those. He's not the main X factor for Florida, but man, he's going to have to play well. I said it coming into this year. Florida, best front court in the nation. Nobody doubted you, but you're going to go as far as your guards take you. And that mainly is talking to Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee, two guys that, had kind of rocky starts, but they've been playing a lot better recently. Boogie Fland, 11.6 points per game, 3.4 assists, elite ball handling. He's the fastest dribbler in college basketball. Like, he could sprint while dribbling the ball. I mean, probably at the speed of Usain Bolt. Not exaggerating. The guy is extremely fast with it, and he can just break you down, go really anything. But the even better part about Boogie Fland is his defense, his on-ball defense. He is the best on-ball defender guard-wise in all the country, in my opinion. Boogie Fland is an elite playmaker. Sophomore season, it didn't work out at Arkansas fully well. He got injured, but man, he has stepped up his game, taken his game to a whole another level this year at Florida, especially in the second half, the latter half of the season. And if he continues to do that, continues to maybe even improve, especially the 3-point line for Florida, man, this is going to be a very dangerous team, and we already know what it is. Great guard play is everything in March Madness. Like, to have a guy take over, front court will get you far. It'll do great in the first few rounds, and you need it in the last few rounds too. But when you get into the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, Final Four scenarios, we remember it last year. Walter Clayton just took over, became unhuman. That's what Boogie Fland or Xavier Lee or Urban Clashaw is going to have to do for the Gators. It's simply pivotal. Xavier Lee, another guy, rocky start, come from Princeton, but very confident and a very good shooter, went on fire. And I think I point to is in that Kentucky game in the SEC tournament, we saw him just, kind of say, all right, I got this. I got this. This is my shot. Goes in, kick back, three, seals the game. Absolute dagger. That's the kind of confidence. That's the kind of mentality. That's the kind of shooting that I want to see from Xavier Lee all March Madness long. He has been really, really good down the stretch. If he can continue to play like that, Florida is in some serious, serious national title conversations. He has also some strong perimeter defense, not as good as a defender as Boogie Flam, but he is a very, very good player. Let's not get this mixed up. Ruben Chinley is the last piece of the front court, starting five for Florida, and honestly is one of the most impressive players in all of college basketball. His story is great, but we're not here to talk about that. The guy is the best defender in college basketball, point blank, period. He is the best defender in college basketball and the best rebounder in college basketball. He is one of the most versatile, one of the best players in all of the game. 11.5 rebounds per game, 11.2 points per game, guys. He averages a double-double. That is unheard of at the college level. Even at the NBA level, that's extremely impressive. But at the college level, man, that is unheard of. Yes, you heard that correctly. 11.5 rebounds per game, guys. That's insanity. Ruben Chinaloo, guys. Just I want you to look up a video of him playing defense and one of those 4K shots, one of those ones where it's close up, not just the normal average view from top down like ESPN or whatever. I want you to look at a film of him just following him and watch him play defense. It is poetry in motion. This guy is elite. He is absolutely insane. Foul trouble, it really hasn't been too big of a problem for him, but I do feel like that could be something that happens. Same with Alex Condon. Florida's allowed to get away with a lot of bullying. That's just the type of basketball they play, similar to Houston. But if you start to get in foul trouble, that could be a problem for Florida. I don't see that happening, but he cleans up, and he's really just the key player for Florida because they have so many second chance points. They take so many more shots than you, and that's how you win games at the end of the day. Take more shots, and that's what he does. He gets rebounds. He gets offensive rebounds, especially. And the final player I'm going to talk about, the X factor, and I said it earlier. I'm going to get to the X factor. That's Urban Clashaw. We know the starting five. We know the great players for Florida. We know the guys who are going to lead them. But Urban Clashaw, when he is playing at his best, when he is shooting the three, when he is a dynamic scorer and defender, he's the guy that I see for Florida taking them to the title. I see them going deep in March, no matter how you spin it. But taking them to the national title, taking them two back-to-back, Urban Clashaw is going to have to take another step. And I believe he can. 40% from three, 9.7 points per game. If he gets hot in March, it could be lights out for opponents. Genuinely, lights out for opponents. So I kind of went through the players. Let's just look a little bit at the path that Florida has. And I alluded to it. It's I don't want to say an easy draw. I mean, you're a one seed. It's going to be a little easier, but things do get difficult for Florida, especially in I don't know, the Sweet 16 range. They start out with probably the easiest game out of the one seeds, though. They have to play Lehigh or Prairie View A&M, so they have to play a first four Sweet 16 team, but I mean a 16 seed team. Once again, I'm not saying overlook them. You got to take care of business. I mean, we've seen it happen before. One seeds lose a couple times, but after that, I'm assuming they win. You take on either Clemson and Iowa, and those teams they don't worry me at all. Just the way that they play and the way that Florida plays, both teams are not in a positive trajectory either. And the 8-9 game really beats you up. There are usually one 8-9 upset of the year. Last year it didn't happen, but I do feel like it usually does happen. I don't think that's going to be Florida. I think they roll past Clemson and Iowa. Then in the Sweet 16, this is where things really get interesting because you're either going to have Vanderbilt or Nebraska, most likely. You could have McNeese and Troy as well. Vanderbilt is the team that thumped them in the SEC tournament, and I think Florida fans really want to see them again because revenge is all too sweet for Tom Golden. He does not like losing to a team, especially in the fashion that he lost to Vanderbilt at the end of this year. They're 1-1 against each other. I don't feel like that was the right Florida team. I don't think that was the Florida team that we saw these last 2 weeks. That wasn't them. They really want revenge, in my opinion, I think. And in my opinion, I think Nebraska is just a little bit more dangerous to beat Florida than Vanderbilt is, even though Vanderbilt also already beat them, because Nebraska is a team that could go lights out from three, and that's really the way to stop Florida is go lights out from three and just have an absolute, game where some random guy goes off. That's what Nebraska can do to you. The way they space out, the way they run. I mean, that's just how they get wins, and I really feel like that could be something that maybe catches Florida off guard, maybe gets an upset, but still, I tend to doubt it. And then in the Elite Eight, uh, I'd have to see who they play, but it could be a number of options. We got North Carolina, VCU, Illinois, Penn, St. Mary's, Texas A&M, Houston, and Idaho. And I would assume out of those three, I think most of my bracket, out of those, whatever amount it was, out of those, I usually have Houston in that spot. It would be a rematch of last year. So once again, a lot of rematches on the table potentially for Florida. But the real thing for Florida, man, is getting guys hot, getting to the way that you were playing in those last few games. One thing that's really, really good is that you basically have a home game for the first game, and I think the first two games, it's the Tampa, Florida, man. That is going to be absolutely full of Gators fans. It's going to be like you're back at the O Dome. That's just an unserious advantage. Just like it's so ridiculous, but it's what you get if you're the one seed, and I think Florida's really going to benefit off that. I mean, they do play extremely well at home, and Gator fans swarm you. And I think back to that Arkansas game where Arkansas was in it for like probably the first 5 minutes, and then they got down by 10 or 12, whatever, and the fans were going insane. It just felt like it was a storm against Arkansas. They were going to have no chance of winning that game, no matter how they played that day. And it didn't matter if, maybe Arkansas could beat Florida, but nothing was going to happen that day. And that's what the type of home crowd advantage could do for you. And it's in Tampa Bay, Florida, so you got to assume it's going to be absolutely rocking with Florida fans. Um, but as far as national title going back to back, I think it's all about balance. Getting multiple people with double digits, and then also you're going to need a guy to go unconscious, maybe not unconscious, but just have a really, really step up in March. And I said it, X Factor, Urban Clapshaw, he's going to have to be great, but also Boogie Fland. I assume this front court's going to be as consistent as they have been all year. I mean, it shows no experience, it shows no looks of slowing down. Um, that's really all I have for the Gators, the Gator boys. Let's hope they can stay hot. I think they're the SEC's best chance at winning the national championship. It would be great to see another back-to-back in college basketball and for Florida. And thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned to all the best March Madness, all the best Florida, all the best SEC content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on all social medias. We're doing great on all social medias, but it would be really appreciated if you could please just subscribe. It's really, really easy. Just press the button, man. It would really help me out a lot. I mean, I made $0 off this venture, and put a lot of time, a lot of work into it. So what you could do for me, that would be really, really huge if you just press subscribe and like it up. Thank you for watching.